Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Mike.
And this is Nerdsense.
Love it.
Hey, everybody. We're back, and it's just Mike and I this week.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time in... we a couple episodes ago, it was just us.
Yep.
But yeah, Josh didn't want to join us because, I don't know, he's got a date with some guy or something. Probably.
Likely.
likely. So yeah, we actually wanted to take the first part of the podcast to actually discuss, well, the podcast. We're not reinventing ourselves now that we have new equipment, but we're more, I don't know, I think it makes us feel more, how would you put it, more...
I feel more responsible for our content.
Yeah, like we spent so much money on the equipment that it should be put to better use than before, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like before we were way too comfortable. Just, yeah. I mean, we spoke about it many times, but it really was more in practice as well. But it was like designated hangout time. It was like lay back, drink beer, talk shit, and have a really good time, and not be entirely conscious of the content we were creating.
Yep.
You know, I feel now it's much more I feel like I'm much more engaged.
Yeah.
I feel like we both speak a little more clearly.
We have to sit up straight.
Yeah, instead of leaning back and just chugging beer and.
Oh, well, I'm still going to chug beer, so I don't care if that doesn't change.
Yeah, that's true.
The big piece of news, I guess, for a little bit of self-promotion, we finally gave in and I got a Instagram account. And that apparently, that's the way to go with social media for what I've seen. We've gotten more visibility in like 20 minutes on Instagram than we got within like a whole week on Facebook. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. I saw the likes, I saw people following us, and I was like, what the fuck? I posted one picture.
All those hashtags.
It's the hashtags, I guess. Like, I don't know. I followed a bunch of people, and like it's kind of cool that I'm looking at the thing, because even with the hashtags, like if you look at the homebrewing hashtags or craft beer hashtags, it's like looking at Untapped, right? But like, I don't know. I don't see myself doing it all the time, but I can see why maybe someone would like doing that. Like, living vicariously through someone else, right?
I don't ever click on any of that stuff ever. I literally, if I see like something on Facebook, for instance, a post, if it has hashtags, I deliberately skip it. I won't even read them because I find them to be so abrasive.
Yeah, and you were originally very against Instagram until I told you.
Well, I'm still against it. I'm not against using it. I'm against like going on and doing anything besides our own stuff.
Yeah, like the funny thing was when I first realized you can't, which I still don't for the life of me, why the Instagram client and why there are no other third-party clients, you can't have multiple Instagram accounts. You can have multiple accounts, but you can't manage them. There's no app to do it, and you can't do it on the official app. And at first I was like, oh, what about my personal Instagram? And I was like, well, I went back and looked at my personal Instagram. I don't think I really posted on my personal Instagram, so I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but...
And it was basically the same shit that I would post on the Nerdsense Instagram, right?
The same
pictures
exact
of me
shit.
Drinking beer.
Yeah. But we can also post like things that are related to upcoming movies or any upcoming content that we that we find to be interesting, and hopefully other people find interesting as well.
Yeah.
So it seems like a good way to promote ourselves, even if I don't plan on using it directly. As far as like my girlfriend's like, oh, look at what so-and-so posted on Instagram. I'm
exactly.
Like, who the fuck? Why would you look at any of this shit?
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally talking shit about Instagram.
and yet it's our biggest follower. Good job, Mike. Now everyone's going to stop following.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Instagram username is just nerdsense.net, spelled with the .net.
Very
Carrie
cool.
actually asked, she's like, why didn't you just do like a dot? But I think it was either Facebook or Twitter that wouldn't let me do a dot, or it was already taken. So Twitter is .net and Facebook is .net. So I figured it was a uniform. And the website is technically Nerdsense with a real .net. Play on words.
Yeah,
it's
so
cute.
I guess. It can easily be confusing though. Hopefully people are a little more savvy.
Yeah. I would hope so in this digital day and age. If someone's listening to this podcast, I would assume.
Yeah, but the thing is, in this digital day and age, dot means a fucking period or, a decimal.
Yeah, but you could just but people are gonna be like, oh yeah, I guess go to nerds. Yeah. Well, someone's gonna go to the webpage. They're gonna go to nerdsense.net anyways.
I hope so.
At least get to the page, and then the links. There's links there for everything. There's links there for the YouTube page. There's links there for the
beer.
For the beer. Yeah, we just added a thing so you can see whoever checks into our beers that we brew. It's gonna be
limited.
4 or 5 people maybe.
Unless you guys want to check into our beer.
If any of you are local and listening and want to try our beer, we'll let you.
Just get a hold of us and we'll
give it to you for free. It's good.
We're so sad.
Larry actually had the regular hef last night.
What do you think?
He said he liked it. He said it was really good.
I was mostly impressed with that one. It's weird because I tried them.
I had the Citra last night too.
How was that?
I still like the Citra.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a Centennial in the fridge if we want to have it later.
Are the Citras all gone?
Oh, Citras are the most we have.
Oh, right.
It's Centennials.
I was thinking
there's one regular hef left, and there's a cold Centennial. Did I give you a Centennial?
No. You told me you gave me one and I didn't take it.
Yeah, and there's a warm Centennial.
Okay.
So it's two Centennials, a hef, and then a shitload of Citra. I don't even know how many.
For anyone that isn't like up with like beer and everything, Centennial and Citra are types of hops, and those are the ones we used to dry hop or to add later flavoring and bitterness to our beers.
Yes. We've talked about that already. We posted the pictures on Instagram. But yeah, we've noticed an uptick in even website traffic from what I was seeing for even unique visitors and requests. Like, I see some requests from China and, stuff that is probably a bot. But the uptick seems definitely since Instagram. I saw like the graph just kind of went. Whoop,
yeah, it's striking. Right. It's striking. Yeah,
it was pretty cool to see. I was very shocked. We haven't had anyone actually acknowledge they listened yet, but who knows? Maybe it'll take a little bit for them. It could be just people looking on the Instagram stuff and then just looking at the site, checking out the posts. But eventually, we'll probably get a hit. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So, I kind of wanted to discuss like what our agenda is with this podcast here. I figure we can do it at the front of the show.
Yeah.
We kind of self-identify as like geeky or nerdy, as Sean would like to put it. We enjoy a lot of what has become sort of geek culture. Neither of us are like prolific comic book readers, although we have read them.
Yeah, we're usually the graphic novel type. We're I don't even know if it's
the collected editions. And
stuff.
We're
too lazy to go out and get it one every month.
Yeah, it's not lack of interest. It's just laziness, I think.
And sometimes I get so overwhelmed.
Yeah, there's just so much content.
There's so much shit.
It's hard to follow.
Like if I want to read the new Batman series right now, which I kind of do, but it's like I have to go back and read 2 years worth of comics. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but like you also have to read all the interconnected things, and then you want to read the Justice League, and then you have to now you have to read Superman, and it's a lot of content, and I think we got like. It's just too much for me. We have full-time jobs. Yeah. You have a family. I have the band, and we just have a lot of things going on in our lives. It's hard to follow a lot of it, but we do try to keep up on it.
Yeah, we love the mythology. That's what we keep with.
And the films and even the animated films are just a lot easier for us to follow.
Yeah, it's easier to digest.
And so those are the types of things we like to discuss. But we also like we're big time. Listeners of music as well, and what we grew up listening to is kind of out of the box music, like progressive and stuff, and even some really extreme heavy metal. But I'm big into like really weird pop music, and I love the Police, and I love Sting, and I love a lot of things that aren't metal and whatever.
I like The Start.
Oh, God, you're an idiot.
I think there are probably more people that like our podcast than even know who The Start is.
That's true. So
yeah,
yeah, because you're the only one who likes The Start, and the only people who know who they are you and people who hate you for liking them.
Well, Mike Monahan likes them.
Yeah, we hate him too.
Fair enough.
So, what I'm trying to get at is that I don't want this podcast to have any boundaries. I mean, I think our general content is going to be on the movies and like the whole comic book kind of hero type things.
Yeah, it'll always be based around that usually.
But there's going to be nothing that I feel is like
we're not going to not touch on a subject if it's important to us or we really feel moved by it or we want to talk about it.
Right, and that's what this podcast was kind of like our forum to talk about things that we enjoy. And sometimes I can go off on social issues like an idiot.
It's fine though.
Like today, we're actually going to talk a little bit about professional wrestling, which is neither of us are particular fans of, but I think we both grew up liking it, right?
Yeah, I definitely grew up liking it. Yeah.
And right now we have some cross pollination with stuff we enjoy, so it's going to become relevant within our.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to become very relevant.
So this podcast is going to have some general content, but there's never going to be anything that we're going to feel is like off topic, like or out of our wheelhouse. So, all right, do you want to?
Yeah. So do you want to go right into what we're doing? I think we gave a good idea of what we want to tell everyone.
Yeah. Let's start off with the sad news first. I mean, it's I guess not that sad because it's a couple weeks old.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, I guess this is a good way to go into it. Go ahead.
Rowdy Roddy Piper passed away.
Well, what exactly did he? Was it just old age?
Heart attack. He died in his sleep.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, there's no suspicion of like drugs or anything. He was in his 60s. I mean, it just happens, I guess.
Right.
He was a professional wrzeler, so he had a lot of injuries, and that can take some time off your life, But he seemed like he was in good shape. Whenever TMZ was bugging him, because I mean it was frequent due to Dusty Rhodes' recent death, and then the Hulk Hogan scandal, both of whom he was well acquainted with.
Yep.
Every time TMZ bumped into him, he was leaving a gym, so he was still active. He's still in great shape. He looked good. He looked young. He didn't look like he was in his 60s, But Roddy, I keep doing that.
Rowdy Roddy Piper.
As a kid, you do the Roddy because you're an idiot. Yeah. But as a kid, when I was watching professional wrestling, Piper was sort of like in and out of retirement. Like he retired in the late 80s to do.
Well, obviously, same here because we were the same age.
He retired to go to Hollywood, especially because the success of like They Live, John Carpenter's film.
Oh right, yep.
The kick-ass chew bubblegum.
Yes.
And
what's funny thing was I didn't realize that was actually him until I thought it was always Duke Nukem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Does Duke Nukem say that in the game?
Yeah, he's like, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I never knew he said that.
So I thought that was always a Duke Nukem thing.
No, as a kid, I remember watching.
When did They Live come out?
88, I think.
When did Duke Nukem come out?
95.
I don't know.
So, but I can remember like a lot of things. I remember watching Piper's Pit, and I remember like his stuff, like especially when in watching back, like the stuff with he hit Jimmy Snuka with the coconut and stuff. And I can remember sitting down with my dad. We were watching one of the WrestleManias, whatever. It was the one where Piper lost his title to Bret Hart, and he was sort of the heel or the bad guy. And my dad was explaining to me that like it's okay because he's funny and this is how wrestling works. He was explaining to me the whole good guy, bad guy, heel, babyface thing, and even though most of Piper's popular career was when I was either too young to remember or before I was born, he made a big impact on me because I got to understand some of that whole professional wrestling psychology. Now, I've heard people say, "Oh, professional wrestling is so stupid, it's fake," which is the most ridiculous thing you can say. Yeah. No matter what you're saying, it's
scripted, but
it's the outcomes are predetermined, but those people are getting their ass kicked for real.
Yeah.
And
it definitely takes.
But it's interesting when people say, "Well, I don't watch that; it's fake." I'm like, "You watch movies and TV all the fucking time. It's scripted. It's like a
Do you watch reality television? Yeah, that's fake too.
Yeah, but all television is scripted. Every bit of it. Literally. So when you watch professional wrestling, it's like a soap opera. with athletics.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's all scripted. It's storylines, and it's like,
for sure.
Don't be silly, you know. But just to understand, like, as a kid, like what in the business would be called getting heat, like getting, you know, fans angry and creating a stir and getting emotion. Like Roddy Piper was like the king at it. People, I was reading recently that, you know, Hulk Hogan was this big deal and everything, but without the villain Roddy Piper back in WrestleMania 1, which is what saved wrestling, that promotion, Hogan never would have been the superstar he was without having that expert villain. You know,
that's a good point.
So, but
I didn't actually think of that.
So even though like Piper was kind of like he was only like he was a good wrestler, but he wasn't like spectacular. But he was a Golden Gloves champion in boxing. He was a black belt in judo. He was a legitimately fucking tough guy, no bullshit. And his like one of the guys he trained with, whatever, I think is training Ronda Rousey. I mean, there's no fucking joke.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
you know. So Piper was a legitimately tough guy, and but his legacy, I think, is mostly with his promotional stuff, his promos, his Piper's Pit, his ability to create heat and be like a really, really engaging, messed up villain, you know. So even though, like I said, most of his career was before I was, you know, conscious of it, I was always a big Rowdy Piper fan. And it's funny that the last thing I'll say about him is his name is, you know, they call him Roddy Piper. His name was actually Roderick Toombs. And when one of his first, because he could actually play bagpipes. One of his first wrestling promotion gigs or whatever, he was called Roddy the Piper. And he came out with bagpipes and stuff. And people just kind of fucked it up and became Roddy Piper.
I didn't know that.
But his last name is Toombs.
Is he really Scottish?
Scottish descent. He's not Scottish. He's Canadian for sure.
Okay.
Even though it was really weird that he had like no accent and he was billed from Glasgow.
Yeah. It's like, no, I've never actually been.
So
I got family there.
Anyone who knows me knows I don't do the whole rest in peace thing because, you know, you're dead. You're not resting. But, you know, Roddy Piper was a really, really interesting guy. And I'm gonna miss this podcast, even though it was really a horrible podcast. I listened to it anyway.
Really?
It was a bad one.
Was it just him?
It was him and a guy he named Earl something. He calls him Inappropriate Earl. He's a comedian. I guess he's at the Ice House or some shit. Whatever the hell that place that Joe Rogan's always playing. Mm-hmm. He's always playing there too. Playing. He's whatever.
Yeah.
Having his little sets. But it was like Piper had something where like he just couldn't stay on topic. I don't know if he had like some mental thing, but he would just be talking about shit, and he just it was.
Was the podcast called Piper's Pit?
I think it was. It was kind of fucked up. Like, he was on podcast 1, and he had some sort of he had somebody that imitated Steve Austin, and he had Hacksaw Jim Duggan on the line. And
the real Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
The real one.
Oh, God.
And he had Steve Austin just talking shit to him. Like, you know, like, see, you stole my gimmick and all this shit. It was really funny and just kind of, he was being a real dick. But Piper just thought it was being funny. And at the end, he, you know, Duggan was composed, which I would have been pissed. But Duggan kept his cool. And at the end, like, Piper kind of, no, sorry, Duggan, this is
fucktard.
And and the comedian, like, it was a comedian.
Yeah.
And he you know, apologized. And now it was great to talk to you. One of those deals. But I guess Steve Austin didn't think it was funny.
Really?
And so Piper got into some shit. And he didn't, I guess he didn't get fired from podcast 1, but he got kind of threatened. So he said, fuck you, and left.
Really?
It's a little annoying because I was still linked to his podcast. And when he switched whatever network, it started downloading all the podcasts again because it's
I thought it was new.
Yeah, it's just really annoying. But he only did one episode after that, and it was a couple of weeks, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, when's the new Piper's? Because once he got Inappropriate Earl, it got better. So I was like, all right, when the fuck's the new one coming out? And I was getting pissed because I think they got released on Thursdays or whatever. Yeah. And like Friday, I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And then it says, Piper passed away in his sleep. I was like,
that sucks.
I'm an asshole.
That really sucks.
Because I'm so selfish about it. I want my fucking podcast. Either way, I loved Roddy, and I'm gonna. Well, no, not literally, but I'm gonna miss his antics and his inability to be fucking straight with anything. Anyway, I just want to get that off. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, that was really awesome.
Oh, I tried my best. My bad.
No,
all off the cuff, by the way.
You were you must have followed him more than I did because, yeah. Well, I followed wrestling, but I don't think I followed it that much.
Well, because the bulk of his popular career was before our time. But my dad liked him, so I got a lot of stuff from my dad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, but that leads us into more wrestling news.
Yeah, actually, before we go into wrestling news, would you like to open one of the beers you brought?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do this.
I really need to move this thing, but
I'll show you both of what I have.
Oh, he's gonna show me. He's gonna show me both of what he has. I hope one of them is a dick.
So,
shit! Have you had this before?
No.
It's very good.
This one here is a little.
It's weird. It's weird because you can taste curry.
Okay, really?
Yeah, it's good though.
This one here is a little more different.
So the first one that Mike brought, it's Ballast Point. Was this the one where you said I love the brewery?
Yes.
I do love the brewery. It's called Indra Kunindra. It's a limited release India style export stout. I've had it recently. It's good.
This one's a little bit more interesting in a weird way.
Southern Tier Chocolate Orange. Stout with orange peel and natural flavors.
I bought these a few days ago, but I didn't want to tell you. I wanted to kind of just bring them and say, fuck it, let's try them.
Enjoy chocolate in a snifter.
So
wow, listen to this. On a snifter or with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Jesus.
That would be badass. Which one do you want to open?
Well, you've had the Ballast Point, so let's do the Southern Tier first.
Yeah, because even with the curry, that may kill palates. Right. Cool. Let's do the Southern Tier.
So,
do you have an opener?
I have keys somewhere.
Yeah, well, Mike's looking for that. Another thing, did I mention on last? I don't know if I mentioned on last week's podcast, but I'll mention it again. We're doing a new format when we do beers on the posts. We're going to say what the container it came in, aka like this is a bottle, glassware. This is going to be like a chalice / almost snifter chalice, and then the link to the either the Untapped page, the Beer Advocate page, or if there's an official website page.
Do the honors.
Thank you.
So this is a stout, and it's supposed to be like a chocolate orange thing. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's supposed to be it's a churro malt, caramel malt, debittered black malt, chocolate malt, orange peels, bittersweet Belgian chocolate, Columbus hops, and natural flavor.
It smells fucking delicious.
And the alcohol content is 10%. So okay. This is no joke.
You remember those? You ever have those orange chocolate balls? It smells like that.
That's why I bought it, because I love those things.
It's like that. Carrie would probably freak out by this.
Should we save a little for her?
Yeah, put it in the fridge. That way we can try more stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Do you want to put that in the fridge?
Well, I want to. I'm more worried about trying it.
Oh, okay, good call. All right.
It smells outstanding.
Yeah, it does. It smells really good.
So let's do this, huh?
Ooh, boozy back end.
Very boozy.
Wow.
Which works, because I think it kills the sweetness a little bit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's 10% though.
You get it up front, and then it kicks your ass in the back.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I can have a whole thing.
No.
But I can have the glass.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is their Blackwater series.
Oh, so it's not a stout. My bad.
It is a. No. It's their Blackwater series.
Oh, I thought it's a black lager. No. Okay.
So chocolate is a different. They came out with chocolate. Oh, this is part of the. So the Blackwater series. Remember, have you ever had their creme brulee?
Yes.
That's the same series.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The desserts and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna also try to do actual reviews, not reviews, but like we're gonna give tasting notes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you haven't that's how Nerdsense really started. After that single Android post I did, I used it as a forum for some beer reviews. So I think we're gonna put the beer reviews in all the posts. If
see, I was thinking we keep the reviews really simple.
Tasting notes.
Like when people do like, oh, I give this like a 5.7. It's like,
well, would you want? I was gonna say do it out of 5.
Well, I figure, yeah, like
because I was really stupid when I did it at 5. I did like out of 5 bottles. I was really silly. I did like a bottle image.
Well, I figure if we do out of 5, we can keep it really basic to the point where it's like it's either like bad as a 1, excellent as a 5, and then 3 is a good.
Yeah.
4 is very is very good.
So it's basically just how we rate stuff on Untapped.
Yeah.
Whatever you put this on Untapped, what would you give this on Untapped right now?
I'd give it
a 3.
I'd give it a 3. Yeah.
Just because it's not something like it's good, but it's not. This would be a great dessert beer.
Right. Well, yeah, it would really depend on the time of day.
Mm-hmm. And I would try this with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. I'd like to put it between 3 and a 4 because of I think it is very, very good. It's just not outstanding,
Yeah, it's not outstanding. It's not like.
I'll give it a 4.
4.
Yeah, I would give it a 4 personally. And the reason why it's not that it's very, very it's very good. It's either excellent, very good, good, not good, and bad. You know what I mean? Like keep it to where it's super basic.
I think I'm gonna stick with 3 though because
that's fine.
The back end, it kind of just like it goes away, but it's like super super boozy. Like it.
Yeah, but I like the boozy in the back end, and I also like that right after the booze goes away, you get that kind of that burnt chocolate thing.
Yeah.
It's nice. To me, it's good. So that's my opinion.
3.25.
Okay.
Because now they do that, but I already did 3.
That's
but
fine.
Anyways, it's really good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah.
Don't not go out and buy this beer because I said I gave it a 3. Like, I would drink it again for sure.
I like it. So there we go. So what's the crossover thing we were just talking about?
So this is pretty big. So actually before we go completely off wrestling. Oh, I set a stupid alarm on my watch. Before we go completely over to wrestling. Before we go over to the crossover, I do want to talk a little bit more about wrestling in regards. I haven't watched it in. Mm-hmm. I know Mike and Josh. Well, Josh watches it more.
Josh was doing like sort of amateur pro wrestling for a while. So he when you get involved with people that are into that type of stuff, those guys are really into wrestling. So he got into it a little bit, but he's not like a regular viewer or anything. Right.
So I stopped watching, but you guys watch more than I do, or he does at least.
Yeah, probably.
Like I don't follow it. I haven't followed it in years, and I know people that still follow. Like Rosita still follows it, which is funny as fuck.
That's weird, huh?
I know, right? It's so crazy. And I don't really have an urge to follow it because I feel like I'd have to do too much to catch up. And like there are times where it intrigues me, and I was just thinking, it scares me now, but what we're about to go into because I'm afraid. This is going to be
a rabbit hole,
a gateway, and I'm just going to go fucking completely down it, and I'm going to get back into it. And then, how many isn't there like a wrestling show on once a night?
No,
like there's SmackDown, there's Raw,
no Raw is on Mondays and
Monday Night Raw.
Oh, good call. I'm not a regular viewer.
Well, I'm not either, but then it started as Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Come on.
No, it is okay. And then I think it still might be called Monday Night Raw. And then SmackDown was on Thursdays, but it's now on Fridays.
Okay. Is that the only 2 shows, weekly shows?
Mm-hmm. I think they might have some weird like recap stuff on weekends.
And both of them they're touring, right? There's no set stage.
No.
They're always in a different city.
Yep.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're constantly touring. I don't know how all of it ends up working out, but I know that generally there's 2 events on at all times. Mm-hmm. Like every couple of days or whatever, there's like 2 separate touring events.
Yep.
And I think they meet up for like the Monday Night Raws and stuff so they can have all the major players involved.
So do they have events that aren't televised still?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had one, which I couldn't believe they didn't televise in Boston a couple weeks ago because Rock showed up.
Oh, because he's filming a movie in Boston right now.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw some other.
But yeah, he showed up and like he, talked some shit like he usually does and stuff. I guess it was kind of a big deal. It was a big deal for me because I was thinking about going and someone I knew was offering me a ticket. Yeah. And I was like, well.
I would probably go.
I would definitely go.
Like, I never had the opportunity. No one ever said, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I was like, and I've seen them come up, but
why don't we do it? Next time it comes around, we'll go.
I've never wanted to like go out and buy a ticket on my own, but I think if someone said, "Hey, I got a ticket, or do you want to go?"
Why don't we do something like that?
Yeah.
Like, because we'll get some shitty tickets.
Remember when we used to play at the auditorium all the time?
Yeah,
that was bad. That was the first time. That's when I found out that wrestling was fake. The auditorium. When I realized it was fake.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They asked he asked me and my dad could hear him ask the ref how much longer while he was in a hold.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
and then Macho Man Randy Savage almost hit us with his Cadillac.
His Cadillac? Mm-hmm. Oh, when he was leaving?
Yeah, I don't know how he had it. It must have been a rental car.
Oh, yeah, I imagine, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they used to drive from venue to venue back then.
Oh, maybe.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when it was the Falcon? No. The Hawk? No. It was he used to wear red trunks. It wasn't a big star.
It's funny because I don't know.
I think my dad remembers.
I'm a little more familiar with the big stars now, but like I didn't know them for years and years. Like I remember my brother saw John Cena back in like 2003 up in Hampton Beach. He goes, "Oh, I just saw John Cena." I was like, "Who?" He's like, "John Cena. He's in WWE." I'm like, "WWE what?"
What's WWE? Wait, did you mean WWF?
Yeah, it was weird, and I didn't know who the hell Cena was, and it's weird because I used to watch wrestling all the time, and I mean I knew who The Rock was, and Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart,
Shawn Michaels, yep.
You know, like those guys. But shit, I even knew who like Bill Goldberg was, but not fucking those guys. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
there's so many people in there now I don't know. Like everyone talking about the Miz, and I'm like, I don't fuck, who the fuck's the Miz guy? This is the first time I've ever seen him. Was that thing when we were watching?
Well, Miz is he started off as a reality show. He was on like The Real World or something, and this is what I've heard.
Does he wrestle?
Hold on, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't get into I didn't read much into this. This is what I've been told. So if I'm wrong about any of this, my bad. But he was on like Real World, and he would like had his own persona in this show where he's like, I'm the Miz, and his name's like Miznowski or some shit, whatever. His whatever. But he was like, I'm the Miz. And he had this pro wrestling thing that he in his
mind.
Yeah, not his. It was his own joking gimmick on the show. Okay. And so he ended up joining like a WWE reality show called like Toughest something or some shit, and he got a wrestling contract, and he's like a 6-time Intercontinental Champion and shit.
The fuck?
I don't think he's that great. I think he's more of kind of a good personality. Not really.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
But he started off as like a reality show guy. He didn't get into pro wrestling as like a kid.
Huh. Okay. Very strange.
But either way.
Yeah. But what the crossover, which was what I'm afraid for the gateway, is we have Steven Amell.
That's the Arrow for anyone not paying attention.
Green Arrow, finally.
Well, on the show Arrow.
Yes,
right.
On the show Arrow. He's been having a beef with Stardust, who I guess is Goldust's son.
No, it's Goldust's brother.
Goldust's brother.
Yep, it's Dusty Rhodes' son.
Right. Is Goldust still around?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Goldust's brother, his real brother.
Half brother, but yeah, they're real life brothers.
Real life half brothers.
Yes.
Okay. He started some Twitter beef with Stephen Amell on Twitter, which I don't even know how. Probably. I bet Stephen went to WWE and was like, "Hey, I want to do something."
Well, yeah, like all right now. To get really geeky as far as wrestling is concerned, there's this thing it's called kayfabe, and kayfabe, what that means is like I don't know what that means. Storyline. It's fake.
Yeah.
Like so, no, that's what the kayfabe means.
Okay.
Like you have to keep up appearances that it's real. Like it's kayfabe. It's kayfabe, and what that means is you got to pretend the storyline is real. So this is like a kayfabe beef. This isn't like these guys are actually arguing on Twitter.
Oh, of course.
No. But that's what I'm trying to get this across. It's not like Cody Rhodes has an issue with Stephen Amell personally.
I actually thought of this the other day. I was like, they're probably like they probably goof around, joke around, but I'm like, they can't hang out in public, right? If they wanted to, like if they wanted to go hang out at a bar together, like
it might be
shit. Fuck with like the 10-year-old fans.
It might be weird for in that case. Because right now they're trying to keep it up. But wrestling, they broke down kayfabe back in the early 90s. Like back in the 80s and way before. Keep going back to the 1920s when it kind of became prominent.
Yeah.
If you broke kayfabe in public, you would be fired from your promotion. Like if a good guy was hanging out with a bad guy in public, they would be fired. Seriously. And if you're a bad guy, this is true. I think Vern Gagne, he was a promoter in the 70s and 80s, whatever. If you were a bad guy and you got in like a public fist fight with someone and you lost, you would be fired. Because you're a tough guy, you're a bad guy, you don't lose. I'm dead serious. Like, this kayfabe was a big deal. And when Vince McMahon, I think he went to trial for some shit in the early 90s. And when kayfabe kind of got broken down there, where he kind of said, it's not real, it's entertainment, it pissed off a lot of people in wrestling, you know, because the kids' kayfabe was super important. Yeah. Like, when you would watch, Arsenio Hall, and they had, like, Macho Man on there, you weren't getting Randy Poffo. That's Macho Man's real name. Randy Savage. Yeah. But you weren't getting Randy Poffo. You got Macho Man. Ooh, yeah, brother. Ooh, that bullshit. And now if they're on, like, Leno, they talk... Oh, well, no, I guess not Leno, but...
Right, they're themselves.
Yeah, they are their own person, you know? They're not going in character. And you used to have to.
That's so fucked up.
It's very strange. Like, if, like, if Warrior or whatever went on a talk show, he went... with the face paint and the tassels. Yeah. He didn't go, like, in a fucking jacket.
Could you imagine that nowadays? Like, that happening nowadays?
Right.
Like, Stardust showing up on Leno, or... Well, not Leno, but yeah, Letterman. No, not Letterman.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is on late night nowadays that I don't watch?
Yeah, it's not, who's the Scottish guy that was good? Craig Ferguson?
Craig Ferguson.
That's all gone. All the ones we knew were gone.
Seth Meyers is kind of funny, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Conan's still around.
Who did Seth Meyers take over for?
He's doing late night.
So he took it for
He's doing late night. No, late night. He's doing the second show.
So he took Craig Ferguson's show?
No, Ferguson was taken over. No, Ferguson's taken over by some British dude. I don't think he started yet.
Whatever. Who knows? Right?
Yeah, whatever.
So, but either way, back then you'd have to go in character. Like Hulk Hogan, you know, be sitting there ripping his shirt off and shit, and it was very strange. It's a very strange thing to watch those interviews now.
Yeah, that's so funny. Like, I wonder, that must have been in their contracts.
It absolutely, positively was.
That's so funny.
You know, but now it's understood that you have your storylines. Yeah. These guys are actors, and that outside, like, even villains are doing, like, promotional things. And but back then, it was only the good guy, only Hulk Hogan, only, like, when Macho Man was a good guy, he did the promotional things, the fun things with the kids.
Snap to a Slim Jim.
But when he was the bad guy, wasn't doing those things.
Yeah, that's weird.
Very strange,
so
huh?
Funny, yeah.
Because, you know, that stuff happened when we were like 10 or maybe a little younger. So, you know, most of our adult lives, or all of our adult lives, that's all been broken down, and it's kind of hard to remember that used to be a thing.
Yeah. So is it nowadays, like, now kids like our age, like, is this, they just don't care? They already know? Well,
there's something, and a lot of my knowledge now comes from podcasts, because I listen to Jericho, and I listen to Steve Austin sometimes. I listen to Jim Ross sometimes. I was listening to Piper. So, like, I got a lot of background knowledge from listening to those guys. And, like, the people that are really in the know about the business, they're called smarks. Smarks. Now, because a fan of the business used to be called a mark. You know, because they were the mark. They were the person that you were supposed to get to in whatever way, whether you were supposed to get over as a good guy or put the good guy over as a bad guy. Yep. So, if you're smart, mark, they call them smarks. But mostly that's kind of they use that kind of as a point of degradation, because these people, they think they're so smart about everything, but they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. But they're still wise on the business to what's going on. It's just not to the degree that they think they are. But so now hopefully people just put aside, like I wouldn't watch I wouldn't watch Iron Man and expect that Obadiah Stane is who Jeff Bridges is in real life.
Yeah, right, of course.
You know what I mean? So people that are hopefully, when they're watching, like, pro wrestling, they're not looking at John Cena and saying, like, that's who he is in real life and stuff. Although he kind of is. He's kind of plays himself more or less. But I mean,
probably because he can't act.
Well, not only that, that's just what ended up getting over for him. When he was doing other weird shit, he just wasn't getting over with the fans. And when he kind of took on the personality that was closer to who he was, that's where it kind of connected. But, like, I mean, no one's looking at, like, Cody Rhodes as Stardust.
He doesn't walk down the street with fucking makeup on.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. But years ago, it would actually still be fine, because he would just go in public without the paint, and you probably wouldn't recognize me now. But anyway, so get back to what we're talking about.
Yeah, we completely went off track again.
We always do this.
I know. So yeah, we're gonna get a SummerSlam fight between the Green Arrow,
Stephen
Amell, and I don't know who the other guy is.
His name's Adrian Neville.
Adrian Neville and him are going to do a tag team. Are going to do a tag team match against Stardust, and I don't think that's going to work, Mike. He's trying to put the bottle in there. If you actually want to open that, I'm empty.
Are we saving the rest for Kerry?
The chocolate one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the chocolate one.
I don't know where to put it then.
Keep talking.
Yeah, just. So it's actually kind of funny that until we watched that, I had no idea that Neville was English. I've seen him do other things before, but I had no idea he was even British. It's kind of funny. And the guy who they're gonna be, the guys who they're fighting are Stardust and a guy named Wade Barrett.
I don't know who Wade Barrett is.
I know who he is because of a podcast.
Okay.
I think he was interviewed by Jericho.
I kind of wish it was a 1-on-1.
Yeah, there's no way they would do that because with the whole format of tag teams, from my understanding is, especially before, people would start off in tag teams because
simulate newer.
Yeah, because you can have a more experienced guy carry the less experienced guy as far as like the workload.
So does that mean means Stephen Amell's not really going to have much to do? You think this is going to be like...
It wouldn't be smart to put him in a one-on-one match because wrestling really isn't as simple as it looks. Like those guys.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of choreography and stuff like that they got to figure out. And...
really good wrestlers don't even choreograph. They'll go out and call the match in the ring. Like they'll call all their spots.
Well, that's cool.
And like they'll just have a couple of code words that they'll understand.
It would be hard for someone new coming in. Yeah.
But even beyond that, just knowing, understanding that like headlocks have to be done with a certain arm because of the way cameras are, and to understand that all that stuff, it becomes a big deal.
Yeah.
The way just your techniques on how to, because wrestling isn't about the moves; it's about doing things and keeping the person safe.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, like when someone jumps out of the ring to land on somebody, like they're not hurting the person's catching them.
Yeah.
It looks like it's hurting the other person, but their job is to catch them and make it look good to where, the whole thing is about keeping everyone safe, and to put someone that is simply a fan, because Stephen Amell's a fan. He's a ridiculous athlete. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, did you ever see the video? You saw the video of him, like I think it's like a 2-minute course of him running through this like crazy fucking course, like doing like I don't even know. It was like what the fuck?
He's an animal. That's a fact. But like these guys he's in with are physical freaks. Like Wade Barrett can put him over his head.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's just a different level here. And in this case, he'll have some cool spots probably, but he's gonna be carried for the most part.
Do you think he's gonna say?
No.
You think he's gonna say?
No, he won't.
I haven't said it yet. You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
I know you're gonna say.
You don't know what I'm gonna say, Mike. You don't know what I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
Do you think he's gonna say you have failed this?
No,
city?
He's not gonna say it, Sean.
Well, no. I thought about that. No, how about this one?
Jesus.
You have failed this audience.
No, he's not.
You have failed SummerSlam.
He's not. If he goes in character, that'd be so horrible.
You have failed everybody that is watching this on pay-per-view that paid $65 fucking for a 2-hour movie.
SummerSlam's gonna be 4 hours.
Okay, $65 for a 4-hour movie. Are you coming over for that so we can watch it on my TV like we talked about?
Sure, fuck it.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Patriots are on, but I don't care.
What time is the game?
I think 7.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't care.
Yeah,
it's preseason.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Yeah.
I know. I'm just
but I don't
know if I'm going to be interested in the rest of the matches.
I am.
Who else is wrestling?
Who cares?
Yeah, good point.
Because
do you think he's going to wear the costume?
No.
I want him to so bad.
No, I don't think so.
Or like a more practical version of the costume.
No.
You don't want to wear green at all?
No. I don't care if he wears green, but I
want him to wear green. You know what I want him to wear? I want him to wear Mr. Perfect's costume, but green. Just like the straight up fucking suspender tights.
Jesus.
Yes.
It's doubtful he'll do that. Very doubtful.
I know. I don't know. I hope so.
Real quick to go back to something, we talking about Piper. One of my favorite things Piper ever did, because Piper kept, because back when he was especially when he was in his prime, he kept up the whole kayfabe thing. You know, when he was wrestling, it was never called a match. He never called it. He always said, if we're gonna fight, it was always fight. And I always thought that was like, it had a weird aggression to it, but it had a really weird realism because, like, whenever he wasn't going to like a match, or whenever he was doing Piper's Pit, like whenever he was doing a match or Piper's Pit, he always came out with the kilt and the Hot Rod T-shirt and all that type of shit. Yep. But whenever he did anything else, he was always wearing T-shirt and jeans. He always had this very realistic thing about persona. Him. And I remember, not remember because I only watched it a few weeks ago, whatever, because I was on a weird thing. But he did some interview with Bret Hart, and it was prior to their WrestleMania match that I talked about earlier. And he comes out and someone says something like, "Oh, yeah, no kilt." He's like, "I only wear the kilt to matches. You know, I'm dressing comfortable." And he's talking about to Bret Hart, like, you know, I'm not gonna fight you. I grew up, you know, I knew your parents when I was a kid. I'm not gonna, you know, your mom used to make me sandwiches, and this is real. He did. His mother made him.
Oh wow.
Sandwiches. He said, "I'm not gonna fight you." It's always fight.
Yeah.
And that is awesome to me because it had a weird kind of
we're not gonna wrestle.
Yeah, it was specifically, he always said the word fight, and I noticed in an interview when I was watching something, because I go in these weird phases where I just watch some weird shit on YouTube.
Oh yeah, everyone goes down that rabbit hole.
And someone was interviewing him, and he's like, you know, Piper, I always liked that you said fight instead of wrestle, and I was like, I just noticed that. So
that's what I say.
So I kind of wish someone would pick up that mantle a little bit because it's kind of funny. And speaking of Mr. Perfect, like you said, this is off topic, I guess. Piper, I think his first match was against Larry Hennig, which is Perfect's father.
That's awesome.
Perfect's name was Kurt Hennig.
Yep.
His father was Larry the Axe Hennig. So it's kind of funny, weird, because they became good friends later.
Oh, I used to love Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, so did I. But he was another guy, like my dad was explaining, like, no, he's the bad guy, but this is how this works.
Yeah.
So I became a big fan, even though, like, when I was little, I was like, oh, I always wanted to see him lose, and he always beat everybody.
I know.
You know?
He used to be my favorite character to play in any of the video games.
Oh, because he was awesome. And the Perfect Plex was the best finisher ever.
We need to get some of those old school wrestling video games. Fucking badass.
I was actually looking up on those again recently, too.
I could have all the ROMs for, like, Genesis, Super Nintendo.
Well, I was up in Plastow at some video game store. It's kind of it's a place people drive to go to, you know.
Oh, is this the? I know what it is. The video game museum.
Whatever. No. It's not a museum. It's a store.
Oh, okay.
A store, but I saw like WWF Warzone, WWF Attitude for like PlayStation.
Fuck yeah.
And I should have bought them, and I didn't. But we should get some of those old games.
Yeah.
I have one for my Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox 360? Is that what I have?
I don't know how the new ones are.
I have one for Xbox 360. I think it's like Legends of WrestleMania.
Oh, I did want to play that.
I'll dig it out of the basement.
Yeah, that'd be fun to play.
Yeah, we'll try something like that.
That place in Pelham, the place next to Chunky's.
Yep.
They have the old school wrestling.
I thought WWF. Isn't that a pinball place?
There's a bunch of pinball machines, but they do have arcades.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and they actually have the wrestling one. It's pretty
We should go get drunk and watch something at Chunky's, get drunk while watching it, then go play video games and have our girlfriends come pick us up.
That's a good idea. Or we could just go to Dave & Buster's with the girlfriends.
No, Dave & Buster's only has modern games.
Really?
As far as I know.
Oh. Yeah, this place has all the old school games. They had like an old school Spider-Man game Carrie and I played for like an hour and a half.
But what we should do, is that the one where Spider-Man's one character, then there's like three other weird dudes that you don't know who they are?
No, that's the Superman character. Oh, yes. No. See the Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Wolverine. I don't know what they call it, a Spider-Man game. I don't know what that is. I'll call it fucking Avengers.
Of course. Well, Spider-Man wasn't a member of the Avengers until much later.
There was a Superman game. I remember the Superman game I played.
Like, yeah, you play like a regular Superman or a green Superman.
Yeah, a yellow Superman. Yeah. But so that's a lot of wrestling for two people that don't really watch wrestling.
Real quick, let me finish this.
Yeah.
We should go to Dave & Buster's because
I still like new video games.
I always talked about doing this, but we never, because I lived right near one in Hawaii. I never went. I went like a few times, but I never got drunk there because the line to get drinks were always so hard. I would get sober waiting for my drinks. It was ridiculous. But we used to get shit-faced and then play racing games.
Yes, those are fun. I remember when I was...
Like, shit-faced. Like, fucking wrecked.
When I was in San Francisco, we found a bar that had video games, and yeah, we were already pretty drunk. And then we got there, we kept drinking more and more. Because and the best part was, it was a craft beer bar. Mm. And they had the...
That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah. And they had just badass fucking racing games, and I was just... And the worst part was, I was playing with the guy that didn't drink.
Oh, that's the worst.
And everyone was watching me. They're like, look at Sean. Look how bad he's doing right now. He can't even stay on the road. I'm like, fuck you. He's not drinking. It's not fair.
Well, one thing I've become a big proponent of, because I am cheap and I'm not against breaking the law, is doing what I used to do. Like when I was in my early 20s, and we would go to Old Court every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's a weird problem. Like, I didn't make that much money, and my parents weren't giving me any money. I was broke. So the way I would afford it is I would get shit-faced before I even went to the bar. I would get a handle of vodka every week, and I would mix up vodka and a bottle of Simply Orange, and I would walk around downtown for like an hour just getting shit-faced, and then
Then go to the bar.
And
drink like a couple beers.
Have a couple of drinks, be fucking wrecked.
That was a smart idea.
So I've been doing that now. It's not. I don't do it out of being cheap anymore. I just do it because like it's kind of fun.
I've been walking around downtown drinking Simply Orange and vodka.
No, I don't do that anymore. That's way too stupid.
That's actually very bum-like.
It's way too stupid. But no, like, but we did go into Boston with the Coke and bottles rum. And rum.
Where are we going?
To see Mike Portnoy.
Right.
John Lamont, but whatever that was.
No, Winery Dogs.
Yes,
sorry. Yes. Yeah, that was good. We should do that again soon.
Yeah, for sure. But like doing that's fun. But first of all, it's innocent. It's kind of silly. It's way stupid. But it's like, but there's kind of a weird childish fun about it, and I enjoy it because you can't drink in public. It's illegal.
Yeah, no one gives a shit if we're drinking on a train.
Right.
And it's there in soda bottles. It's not like we're harming anyone.
Right. And that's the thing.
Just our livers.
Right, and it's fun, and you can get a good buzz going, and it's not about, for me now, it's not about saving money. It's just about, because there's a kind of weird joy in it for me. Yeah. So like me and my brother, like when we walked over here a couple weeks ago, we drank the whole way. Yeah, and it was a good time.
It makes sense
because one, you know, I'm not gonna walk around drinking out of a rum bottle. I'm not gonna drink out of a beer bottle. I understand the law.
Oh yeah, you get that. Know? Yeah, of course.
But it's like what I'm saying is I'm not like a rebel where I'm like,
and we're not drinking it out of a paper bag. We're not
right.
We're like
what I'm drinking is out of a Coke bottle. I mean, it doesn't make it. It kind of makes it more legal because what the fuck, yeah. You know. But at the same time, like I don't feel like I'm like this big rebel. But it is a childish joy in doing it. Yeah. So I have a good time doing it. So
yeah, exactly.
But either way, so what want to move on to is the Josh Trank fiasco.
Yes, if we could open the other beer first, actually,
sure,
that'd be great because all that booze talk, I'm a little dry now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Josh Trank fiasco. So we are going to watch Fantastic Four after this. We decided not to watch it before because I don't think we had a good reason.
I think we just kind of ran out of time.
I think we'd just rather have done the podcast. And in case we do run out of time for whatever reason, watching the Fantastic Four is not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm not that concerned about it.
So yeah, we're going to do this is the Indra Kunindra.
I didn't know exactly what to expect out of it, but I really like Ballast Point, and I know that you're a big fan.
Wait till you try this.
So
wait till you smell this.
No shit, that's a beer.
It smells like
curry.
Fucking Indian food, and it's fantastic. If any of you like Indian food, then you should check this beer
out. I'm a big fan of some Indian food. By the way, when the fuck are we gonna get some more Indian food? Because I haven't had Indian food with you yet. We talked about going a few weeks ago.
I just Carrie's finally really, really liking it. We went to Priya the other day, and she really liked it. So
you should have called me. I would have gone.
I forget no, it was late. I forget what happened. I don't remember. It was a couple weeks ago. But all right, let's give this a good whiff. Wow, it so smells like curry, right?
I'm not gonna lie. If I knew this, I probably wouldn't have bought it. You look really unhappy about that sip.
Was I drunk when I tried it the first time? Like, it's good, but it's weird. Yeah.
Tastes like fucking curry.
I must have been really drunk because this is good, but it's...
Whew. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, what a beer. Holy shit.
It's like they must have just like had a really great... You know what I would like to try?
Hold on, let me read this here. It says, it's Indra Kunindra. It's a limited release India-style export stout, which doesn't tell me anything.
What is an export stout? What does it make an export stout? What makes it an export stout?
I don't know, but what is India style? I would imagine would be like almost imperial. That's the way I kind of looked at it. But it says a stout with madras curry, cumin, cayenne, coconut, and kaffir lime. It says Indra Kunindra is a burst of madras curry, cumin, cayenne, coconut, and kaffir lime leaf. Our India-style export stout is a unique collaboration with award-winning homebrewer Alex Tweet. Released in limited quantities, this explosion of South Asian flavors is reason enough to kneel down and thank the heavens, and further proof of San Diego's status as a brewer's playground and a beer lover's utopia. By the way, that's bad English.
Maybe they... Mike, maybe they did it on purpose.
No. That's racist.
No, it's not racist.
It's kind of racist.
It's truth.
That doesn't make it not racist.
Have you ever talked to a tech support person in India? It's fucking truth. And I've been to India to train people to take my tech support job.
Oh, fair
so
enough.
I think I'm allowed to say that.
Right. No, you're not.
No.
No.
You sure about that?
Yes.
I think I may be written down somewhere.
I think you think so.
I'm hoping so. But yeah, so
wow, this is a weird drink.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to drink any more of this after I have this glass. Maybe this is probably another thing we could have Carrie try too.
And if Shannon comes over later, she can try it.
Yeah.
Oof, wow, this is ballsy.
If I don't, what if it's curry that Shan can't eat?
Shan's had curry a million times.
But you said Shan can't do Indian food.
She can do. First of all, we've talked about this before, but curry isn't.
Oh, curry's not it.
No, curry isn't anything. Curry is what you call it, right? I mean, there's no ingredient that makes curry.
Well, if she
curry.
gets sick off that, then it's.
No, it should. Yeah. Well, first of all, she can have cayenne, she can have cumin, she can have kaffir lime, she can have coconut.
Okay.
I'm presuming that the curry's fine. I don't think she had any curry that day that she got sick.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so yeah, sorry. The reason why I don't have Indian food that much is the last times that I went was with my girlfriend, and she got really, really sick. And although I wasn't with her the previous time she had Indian food, she got sick that time as well. So there's something she ate that's fucked up for her. Anyway, so this Josh Trank thing, what's up?
I gave it a 3.5 last time I had it.
You were drunk.
Yeah, January 17th, 2015. I didn't check into anywhere though. Weird. Anyways, Josh Trank. So I think we touched on it. Did we touch on it last time? No, maybe not.
We touched on it a little bit, but this whole week has been a big
Twitter thing about saying like I had a better movie a year ago that got good reviews. So more has come out that apparently he was secluded on the set. He would show up high, barely able to talk. He actually built a tent around his chair and his monitors so that he couldn't be disturbed. And then he would go back to his trailer in between like setups and whatnot and not speak to anyone.
Now, do you believe that?
I don't know. It's a lot of hearsay and a lot of he said, she said, but I don't know the sources, right? But like there's been multiple people who have said it. Like there's also been a civil case that got settled that him and his wife and his dog destroyed a house that they rented during the filming.
I think that is a fact.
Yeah. And people are saying that he actually emailed the actors a couple days before saying, this is going to be great or whatnot. And someone was like, no, it's not.
No, that was a stage, like a
stagehand?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not a stagehand but whatever. It was a grip or something.
I don't know. Again, it's like it is. He said, she said. Maybe all the stuff. Maybe it's true on both ends. Like maybe he was very hard to work with. Maybe the studio wanted more control, and I think one of the crew members said, yes, he was a problem. Yes, the studio was also a problem. Maybe it was all the stress from the studio that made him act out the way he did. So he's like, they're both to blame. There's no innocent parties here. Like, they both did really fucking stupid, childish things, and the outcome is
this film
that has just been getting fucking pulled through the ringer left and right, and it's just been sounds like terrible dog shit.
I haven't heard honestly a good thing. I did read one positive. I saw one positive review.
The one positive review I read was the one that said, "Get up and leave 10 minutes before it ends."
Oh no, I saw a positive review before where it said, guy said, people have this issue. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like, the guy didn't say it was a 5-star film. But
I was expecting to go to Ain't It Cool News and read a good review from Harry, because Harry's like a fucking
mark.
Pretty much. He's a mark. And everyone in the comments says it. Like, even though he runs the site, like, no one fucking takes his reviews seriously at all.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you should take his reviews seriously, because
in the beginning, probably, but it seems
you have to know what you're getting when you go to it.
Right, but like, if you read some of his reviews, if he's had a set visit, or if he's friends with somebody
like that,
you can track it back to like when he starts talking about the movie before it comes out, and then follow it, and then you can see that he's basically. But this, he said he's seen twice, and it seems, I think he's mentioned a few times something about Josh Trank and whatnot. But he's like, I saw it twice, and it's still not. And I'm like, oh, that's. But yeah, whenever I read Harry, I didn't even read it. I don't really read his reviews. I read the couple lines, and I go right to the talk back, and then.
All right, now I have sort of. I hate to do this because it's like. I have sort of a reputation of being like pretty harsh.
Yeah.
And I'm not really with films.
Don't like this beer.
No, it's tough.
I'm just gonna pound it and open something else real quick. But keep going.
No, but I'm not really with films. I can be critical about films, but I mean, I like almost every movie I watch. I like to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, even if I'm not a big fan, like, I can, like, I don't get that critical with films, as far as like, there's plenty of films where I think are just a mess, but I still enjoy them. Yeah. I'm pretty, like, and I expected that I was like, I'd like this film. I probably will. And everyone will just talk shit because, I don't know.
Do you think you're going to like it? I think it'd be really ironic if you were like, this is a great film.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, dude.
You'll be a hipster.
That's ridiculous.
You'd be like Maddox when he says you're
That's ridiculous because, I mean, among all the people, among everything, people can say like, oh, you're just, counter whatever, like, you just don't like anything. But like, I know. But like, I don't just walk up and say I don't like it because I don't like it. Like, I always defend my position, and I can. I never feel like if I debate someone on something that I've ever walked off looking like an idiot. Like, I feel like I've always taken my position and defended it at least adequately enough that people can understand my position, even if they don't agree with me.
Yeah,
Because there are people, you talk to someone and they defend their position like you're a moron.
No. There's been times with when you didn't like movies, like I understood where you were coming from.
Right.
And I didn't understand. I never understood Winter Soldier, but
no, I never didn't like Winter Soldier.
Okay, no. We don't have to go into that again. It's fine.
Oh, everyone bring us you said you hated it. I mean, all I said was that it wasn't as good as I expected it to be. Jesus.
I know.
Fuck.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I want to. I never thought Fantastic Four looked good.
Quick aside, in repeated viewings, I like it better than I did seeing it in the theater.
Good.
Because I got away from my my expectations.
Yeah.
It was my expectations that. Anyway, so go ahead.
Right. I never thought Fantastic Four looked good. I think I said
that second trailer looked good.
I think I said at one point it did look better, but I think that was me forcing myself to wanting it to be good. And you know what? Another thing I read, this was greenlit because this was the last year Marvel Fox had, or the rights would have went back to Marvel.
Yeah, but like, to talk about greenlit and how much money they spent, it's ridiculous to even put that kind of.
But
this wasn't like that early '90s film they did.
94, no. Which we still haven't seen.
Which cost $1 million.
I wouldn't mind watching it someday.
Download it. I guess you can find it, right?
It's gonna be really bad quality, but whatever.
Oh, is it?
It's on there. We can watch it. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't mind watching. We can just drink.
I think it was filmed in that really bad quality.
Like, it's probably gonna look just as bad as this.
That's good.
Yeah, but see that. But also, what I'm worried about is if we watch this now, like this, in the state that we have it in, is that gonna taint it for us? Like, we actually. funny that this brings me back to a very good point. The lost episode, episode 7, original episode 7 of Nerdsense was, for all you listeners right now, you think episode 7 is 30 minutes long. Episode 7 is actually about an hour and 15 minutes long, and it's a whole other episode. And the problem is we had a bunch of clipping, and I'm working right now to make it listenable, and we're going to release maybe as a bonus. But that episode, we discussed Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I only watched it the first time each from like DVD rips before the Blu-ray rips got leaked, and I never saw it in the movie theater. And I feel like I would have liked the movie more and been more pulled in as if I watched it in how it was supposed to be watched.
See, I enjoyed both movies.
I did. Don't get me wrong, I did.
You know,
but I even said during our discussions that I feel like I didn't. I'll show you after. Like the way I said it was like I wasn't as pulled in as I would have been. I think if I watched it in full HD,
right,
the full surround mix like it should have been. Like I think the quality diminished because it wasn't how it was supposed to be seen.
No, you're right, and like it's funny that these movies have like they just have a bad reputation, and what you're watching is a product of our times. But like no one agrees with me because they're dumb. But I feel like Amazing Spider-Man was better than Spider-Man. It is a better film. Whether it's a greater film is a different story because the time that Spider-Man came out was a different time for comic book style films. Right.
I don't know. I think I don't know. See, I have to watch them again, but I watched both of them. I don't know. I really like Amazing Spider-Man 1. I really liked Amazing Spider-Man 2 in certain parts. Like
certain parts. I agree.
Electro was just
was so bad. It was unforgivable.
Like I remember when I first saw like the images and stuff, and I was like, all right, benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but did you see the way he looked in the comics at that time?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just like that, by the way.
Right, I get it, but still. And the funny thing is, this is like a double-edged sword, right? You can't win. You can't. It's a lose-lose situation.
Right.
Not really. Well, yeah, because as fans, right? Everyone's like, oh, it doesn't look like the comics. It doesn't look like the comics. And then they go and fucking take the fucking page and put it right on the screen, and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? It's like, well, that's what you fucking wanted, right? And like, look what you get.
Well, I think no one was really familiar with the Ultimates version of Electro. They used to the weird yellow dude, you know.
Yeah. But that would have even translated silly.
And that would have been worse.
Electro is just a weird villain to use.
They never should have used Electro, and that's the problem.
No.
You know, even Lizard was a weird one for the first film, but I accepted it. It's fine, whatever. Yeah. You know,
I think Lizard was interesting because they were hinting at it so much with the previous Raimi franchise, and finally they're like, let's give it to the fans. Let's give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's going to get rebooted already. I don't know. I need to go rewatch it. Like Andrew Garfield was a great Peter Parker.
Andrew Garfield is the best Peter Parker so far.
Yep.
I don't even think. I think if you argue against that, you're just not being rational. I think you're holding on to those early films.
Yeah.
And you should. There should be some reference because Sam Raimi was doing something different.
Oh, very much.
You know, but if you watch like if you compare like the Tim Burton Batman, which is still a cool film, but when you watch it now, there are problems with that film. The whole third act is just retarded. Like, there's no logic to that third act. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. I
still love every second of it.
Right, and you should. And that's fine. But to compare them to what Nolan was doing is unfair.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that Nolan didn't make better films on the whole.
He made films.
Right.
What was Batman and Batman Returns? Were they films?
No, they were art house. Just there was something.
Yeah, they were Tim Burton.
They're Tim Burton things.
Taking advantage of the studio.
Right. And that's fine because.
But I like them.
No, absolutely. But it's not fair to compare them because Nolan had Tim Burton to build on.
Right.
You know what I mean? He had that already to look at and say, I'm not making that mistake. That's good. That's bad. He had those lessons to be learned.
Mm-hmm.
And
Burton had what to look at? Superman?
Yeah. That's it. And he didn't, I don't think he looked at it.
No. He was like, nah, I'm just going to go over there.
Right. But Garfield is leaps and bounds superior. Honestly, in the things I've seen, he's a superior actor to Tobey Maguire.
Oh, for sure.
Tobey Maguire is not a very good actor.
Red Riding. He did 3 movies.
That fucking horse one?
No. No, I'm talking about Andrew Garfield. Before that, he did like 3 movies, and they took place like 70s, mid 70s, and like or 80s.
Okay.
Red Riding. I don't think they're movies. They're either movies or like they're like a mini series event on like BBC or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they're really. And I watched the first 2, and then Carrie couldn't watch them. But yeah, no, he's definitely. But as for the costume, you can definitely tell that the Amazing Spider-Man was definitely based off Ultimates because he was a smaller.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I liked it.
His suit looked great.
His suit looked great in Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 1, it was good. It was good.
It still looks superior to the Garfield one, I felt. No, I mean, you said the
no.
Tell me where. I think it did.
No. Even Amazing Spider-Man 2, I would say the most iconic suit for me is definitely the Raimi suit.
Nope, absolutely not.
Really?
Nope.
No, I think the Raimi
not even close.
Oh, the Raimi suit.
The best suit so far on screen, in my opinion, is Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's the Ultimates.
It just looked great to me.
And the other one is just the regular Marvel universe. I don't know. They both look fantastic. Or maybe I should look up both of them again. But yeah, we totally got sidetracked talking about. We're supposed to be talking about the Fantastic Four, but there's really not much to talk about other than this controversy. It's weird. Are we ever going to get a Fantastic Four movie? That's good because again, I'll say it. I said it before. I'll say it again. The Silver Surfer trailer looked badass.
I disagree.
The Fantastic Four 2 Silver Surfer trailer?
No.
I thought the trailer was. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna make it not suck.
I remember thinking, they're doing Silver Surfer, and it's still gonna suck.
I guess. I don't know. I still. I don't know. I wish. I want a good Fantastic Four movie, man.
Well, this brings us to something real quick. We can discuss this quickly and then get out of here because we're already past the hour mark.
Yeah.
Now, people have been arguing that Fox should give the rights back to Fantastic Four back to Marvel. Where do you stand on this?
Not gonna fucking give them back.
Agreed.
Do a thing with them. Do what Sony did.
I disagree with that too.
You don't want them. You don't want Marvel to have it.
I mean, I think it's.
Oh no. Okay. No. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's ridiculous that people think that this is something that you can have a conversation about.
What do you mean?
Because why would Marvel doesn't deserve those rights. Like they don't deserve it because the rights were created by the Marvel universe. They sold the rights.
Oh no, I agree. I agree.
And they don't owe fans.
No, they. Another reason why I agree with you here is why I don't think they deserve the rights is because of what they're doing.
They're being childish about it.
Very, very fucking childish. Like there's a Marvel poster behind us right now. That Carrie got me for Christmas a couple years ago. And on the front, you can definitely see the X-Men and the Thing and basically, all the Fantastic Four. Invisible Woman's right there.
Yeah, you see Johnny Storm, you see Mr. Fantastic, you see the Thing, you see Susan. You see them all there.
This is the Marvel.
They're right in the front.
Marvel publicity shot from, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe, right? You look at the pretty much the same picture every year, I guess. Mm-hmm. And they just a little bit change around. This year, Fantastic Four are fucking gone.
Not even there.
And they're stopping the comic. And I think they're stopping I think X-Men's gone too. Or they're I know
they're marginalized.
Not as bad as Fantastic Four, but they definitely stopped the Fantastic Four run. And that's really that's just
childish.
That's super fucking childish.
Yeah.
I would like them to get it back, but I don't think. At least when they did the stuff with Sony, at least Sony did good Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
So it's okay, they're bringing into the thing. So it's Sony talking with Marvel. They both did good stuff, right? Fox didn't do anything really good with fucking Fantastic Four. So it's I think if they did a deal like Sony, it would just be a giant headbutts fucking situation of nonsense.
Yeah.
And do we need the Fantastic Four?
No.
There's already so much shit going on right now.
And Fantastic Four are kind of like they're relics of a bygone era.
They're fun. Like,
agreed. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
But I would rather see the X-Men fold into everything.
I would only prefer to see the X-Men fold into them only because it would force a reboot, and they're in dire need of it because the continuity is so bad.
Yeah, I would just even an acknowledgement that it's like they still haven't acknowledged anything regarding they're saying that X-Men and Fantastic Four are now parallel universes. So like, oh, it could happen, but whatever.
No, if they brought in the X-Men universe as is, it would be bad because every movie contradicts the other ones.
Yep.
Every one of them.
I think I'm going to stop caring once Hugh Jackman stops being Wolverine because I really just want to see him with the Avengers. That would be the...
Dude.
I'm wondering if like in his head, like deep down in his heart, he's thinking, okay, the next Wolverine movie is my last time playing Wolverine.
But
if for some reason it ever happens, I will come back.
Like what if Fox leased, the rights to Wolverine.
Just Wolverine.
To like Avengers 3 or 4 or whatever.
Just Wolverine. But then the problem with that though is you'd have to
tie it in.
Yeah, and that would take up that or it's just like, you know what, fuck it. It's just part of the continuity. But where were they during? You have to figure it out somehow.
Yeah, but I think people are smart and like,
because dude, the normal moviegoer probably already fucking thinks it takes place in the same universe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like they can't think that Quicksilver is two different people,
Nah, fair enough. Yeah, we could open some type of parallel universe portal thing.
But I think it's acceptable. I remember when that Kevin Tankorian, whatever his name is, when he did the Mortal Kombat thing for YouTube.
Yeah, yep.
The second season had Kari Haruyuki Tagawa play Shang Tsung. And he's the one who plays Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yep.
And it wasn't the same world, but it was kind of like, that's badass.
Yeah.
And so if I saw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, that's badass.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? He doesn't even need to play the same character. Like, he doesn't need to play the same, like...
Nope, he
doesn't. Let
doesn't.
him just do it. Let him just fucking do it. I'd lose my shit.
The issue is that they would have to have a Wolverine that they can use several times.
Yep.
And he wouldn't be able to be that guy.
No. It's a nice dream.
Yeah.
But then again, we've gotten so much shit that we never expected we were going to get.
Yeah, we're being really selfish.
Like we have the Avengers right now, and we have Spider-Man.
And
it's like, oh, we have Spider-Man. We've been begging for Spider-Man for years, and now it's like, oh, we got what we wanted.
What else do we want?
We want more.
And it's just like, now it's accepted. Well, that Spider-Man's there. No, what else?
Yeah.
Fuck.
If you got Spider-Man, why can't you get everyone else? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Do it. I don't care. Where's Namor? Apparently Universal has Namor.
For what?
Universal, I don't know. Universal has Namor.
Did they buy him?
Universal or Paramount? Someone has Namor, yeah.
Why?
Someone
How?
has fucking Namor. Like, I don't know if they're just sitting on it waiting to make a movie franchise or like waiting for Marvel to knock on the door and just go, here's a bunch of money. I want them to do like the Namor Fantastic Four story where like Sue Storm like cheats on Reed Richards and starts fucking Namor like crazy.
Is that a real storyline?
I don't know if it was they were fucking like crazy, but she was like, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Fuck Reed Richards.
And Namor's a badass.
Yeah, Namor.
He's like a prick.
Namor is who Aquaman's going to be in these new fucking movies.
He's like a giant fucking prick. Who likes getting his prick sucked.
By the Invisible Woman. Some Buffy shit there.
Wait. So does Namor like getting his prick sucked by the Invisible Woman because he likes to pretend it's someone else?
Yes, Reed Richards.
Or Dolphin.
Yeah. Or Reed Richards.
Probably Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny Storm. Hot mouth.
Maybe she has a hot mouth. They are related.
Oh,
anyway, so
point. Wow. Yeah,
we just killed our podcast. Crash and burn.
Downhill.
That's the way we roll. All right. Well,
is there anything else we need to touch on?
I think those are the major things, right?
Yeah. So I guess visit us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, nerdsense.net with Nerdsense.
An actual dot.
No, not an actual dot.
.net.
I said visit us. Oh, okay. Visit us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're nerdsense.net on all of them.
Okay.
There's no actual dot.
And then the website is?
Nerdsenseactual.net.
but not actual.
But not like Nerdsense actual, like Nerdsense actual all one word .net. It's actually Nerdsense with a period net. And then if you really want to, if you fucking use it, Google Plus is plus Nerdsense net. Yeah, Google Plus and Twitter were weird. I had to do Nerdsense net. Just fucking visit us on Instagram or just go to the website and there's links. You can find all our shit everything. There. They're on tap links. It shows what Mike and I are checking into. Yeah. So I'm Sean.
And I'm Mike. And this is Nerdsense.
Testing again for dicks in my mouth. Do you think why is it whenever we do a test it always has what is in our minds it always goes to dicks?
Because that's immediately what you jump to. Then that's just a topic of conversation.
Always. Like I can't just go testing 1 2 3. I can't go how was your day, Mike? How was your drive?